喺寸金尺土嘅香港，其實有唔少爛溶溶嘅廢墟。簡單啲講呢，即係冇用嘅建築物啦。你見到呢啲建築物嘅時候，你會覺得佢哋好靈異、好污糟，定係會覺得好浪費呢？今集700萬種生活，我哋就跟呢位居港15年嘅法國藝術家 Daphné 去睇下佢眼中嘅香港廢墟。
700萬種生活。My life in Hong Kong is about not taking anything for granted and keeping exploring its past and all its hidden treasures.
近年越嚟越多人鍾意城市探索，關注廢墟嘅美學同埋歷史價值，承受住可能會整親或者法律嘅風險，進入廢墟做紀錄。有人透過攝影，有人選擇出書講歷史，而嚟自法國嘅 Daphné 就係將廢墟畫落嚟。佢2年前開始咗呢趟旅程，去到而家已經累積探索超過150個廢墟啦。
You have to find it as well, because the information that friends share are sometimes a little bit incomplete, I would say.
探廢圈子嘅潛規則就係唔好公開廢墟嘅地點，因為越多人知道地點，就越容易俾人破壞。唔單止之後嘅人冇辦法體會到完整嘅廢墟，仲可能會驚動到保安，會增強封鎖埋個廢墟添。Daphné 初時仲唔識規矩，好傻咁樣喺 Facebook 嘅小組直接問人哋位置。咁佢而家梗係醒水啦。佢主要有幾位固定嘅同好去交流資訊。
Yeah, many rules, but for me they're just normal rules. It's rules of respect, you know. So you respect the place, you respect the people who live around. You're going to a place that is not yours. The rule of most explorers is you leave nothing behind but footsteps, and you take nothing else but photographs.
除咗要克服語言同埋地點資訊嘅障礙，就係廢墟入面嘅大自然。
The nature barrier sometimes is you have to overcome, like mosquito going through thick bushes where you think there is a path, but actually there's no path. It's not something that would discourage me. Usually I would keep going.
深入廢墟2年嘅時間，已經令到 Daphné 對於香港嘅認識，無論喺地理定係歷史上，都係突飛猛進。眼前嘅佢，你睇下，成個導賞員咁啊！
This is my 4th time here. It's really spectacular in many ways. This mansion was actually built in 1925, and its owner is also the architect and the contractor of the building. And it's really interesting because it's a kind of blend of Eastern and Western architecture. After the war, Hong Kong University alumni organized their party then. It was like the first dance party, and it was unique to be able to dance on the hardwood floor. So it's got a lot of stories.
你可能會覺得，因為 Daphné 係藝術家，先至會將眼前呢個爛溶溶嘅廢墟畫到咁唯美嘅啫。但係公平啲，不如你跟佢行一轉先啦。
You have the colonial porch. You have the typical European style, large windows with wooden shutters. Couple of really nice wooden furniture. Actually, you could really find this in Europe. So this is actually really nice. Is when we get to all these abandoned places, we try to date the time from when the last occupants have been living in the place. Here we have 1979. I love seeing these details here. You can find them in so many buildings in Hong Kong. Always that green. Here, if you look up, you'll see the typical roof structure from Chinese rural mansion. And you can just imagine how glorious this place was. It's a dream. Nature is winning over architecture here. The trees are literally wrapping the structures, right? And breaking through the structures. So it really has incredible beauty in it. But the downside is that it's completely destructing the remains, and nothing is done here to preserve this.
15年前，佢跟住做生意嘅老公嚟到香港生活。行山一直都係 Daphné 最鍾情嘅假日活動。2年前行山嘅時候，佢誤打誤撞入咗一間廢校，咁樣就打開咗佢呢個城市探索之旅。
The schools are very unique. It's actually also very beautiful in terms of sceneries, right? It's spectacular. You have all these interesting textures that are part of the decay. But I didn't realize that there was a whole world of abandoned places in Hong Kong. I think there are thousands of them. Looking for these places has taken me all over Hong Kong. It takes you to a place where you would otherwise never go. Hong Kong being a place where things move so fast and things get replaced. So I think that's somehow it remains a very unique experience for me.
城市探索有一定嘅危險性，所以通常都有啲鐵腳會跟住 Daphné 周圍去嘅。因為廢墟大部分都係民宅，上網揾到嘅資料基本上都唔多。如果有香港朋友一齊嘅時候，可以同村民傾下偈，聽下口述歷史，呢一個就係佢最享受嘅部分。
Yesterday we were around Sai Kung looking for an abandoned school, and we asked for one of the villagers where it was, and then she told a story about how her son graduated from that school. So it just makes the whole thing so much more meaningful, because when you manage to connect with people on this site, you'll remember the place forever.
Daphné 嚟香港成為藝術家之前，喺法國係一名景觀城市規劃建築師。佢有自己嘅建築公司，出過唔少嘅得獎作品。呢個背景令到佢更加識得發掘廢墟入面嘅美，同時亦都令佢更加明白事實嘅遺憾。
These spaces, I guess, are not so unique in terms of heritage. They are part of the past, like collective memories. The problem is the land is so valuable in Hong Kong. It's hard to, I suppose, find someone who would spend a lot of money restoring something just for the sake of saving it from a historical and a heritage point of view. Keeping this alive through art. Some people do it through books, some people do it through photography. Every little bit that can be done to make this permanent in another way.
廢墟入面嘅所見所聞，通通都成為咗佢珍貴嘅創作靈感，拼湊出屬於佢自己嘅廢墟。
I do remember every single building, exactly where they're located, every single object, not only in which house they were, but in which piece of furniture they were. And I could tell you a story for each of them.
除咗行運新界、離島同埋邊境 ，Daphné 都會探索城市入面嘅廢棄建築物，而觀察同埋影到嘅物品同喺鄉郊廢墟發現到嘅非常之唔同，所以佢就設計咗另外一個系列。概念就係參考16世紀歐洲人要嚟擺藏品嘅櫃，佢將同一棟建築物入面影低咗嘅物品放晒喺同一個櫃入面。
It's not about choosing beautiful objects that I see, it's about showing as many as I can. They really tell the story of particular places. They don't just reflect the occupant's life, but also a way of living in certain place in a specific time. It's such a weird thing to find so many personal items. In that tenement, I found so many family photos. We went inside, and what we found on the first floor, old wooden desk, and in the drawers there were dozens of letters. The dates were, but they were actually dated from 1952. To be honest, this place was quite sad. Walking through people's home and finding a lot of things behind always make you wonder why people have not taken things that look precious, at least from an emotional point of view. And that's what I've been asked so many times. But looking into all this abandoned place during a time that coincides with a time in Hong Kong that's a bit difficult makes it even more intense, because it's like grabbing something that's slipping off your hands. By making art out of these places, it's a way to in a way, continue a little bit the life of these places. I call this map Itinerary of the Abandoned. Every dot stands for a place that I've been to. I think it's pretty hard to stop doing that. It's addictive because you feel like it's a little bit a race against time. You don't know how long these places are going to be visible and how long they're going to still exist. Because I'm here as a foreigner and I don't know for how long I will be here, probably not forever. I feel the urge to see as much as I can.
老公做生意，家住半山，自己就創作賣畫，仲係建築師添，絕對超級有條件做一個勁離地嘅外國人。正常人都覺得外國人喺香港乜嘢都事半功倍㗎啦，但原來佢都面對過前途嘅問題。
I still remember vividly my first trip in a taxi from the airport. First time in Hong Kong, looking around and being kind of horrified by the urban density, thinking, where is the public space? This is what I was trained to do, is design public space.
一位法國嘅景觀同埋城市規劃建築師嚟到香港，佢遇上第一個問題就係環顧四周係冇公共空間可以俾佢規劃嘅。Daphné 最感激咧就係佢身邊呢一位比佢更加早嚟到香港嘅表嫂阿明，因為係阿明鼓勵佢嘗試行呢條藝術路嘅。
She is very creative as well as capable. Actually, you're a painter.
My background is actually really connected to architecture, is very grounded. It took me a while to say, yeah, I'm an artist.
決定喺香港行呢條藝術路，第一幅作品開始，佢已經係用佢喺香港嘅觀察嚟做主題，由建築物嘅外形去到屋入面人嘅生活，由後巷嘅風景去到廢墟嘅探索。作品就隨住佢對呢個城市嘅認識而加深同埋演化。
Moving here wasn't really a choice. Once I decided that this was going to be my home for a long time, it completely changed my perspectives.
I think that she brings a unique lens to viewing a city that we take for granted. So the things that Daphne's capturing is really, really evocative and meaningful to Hong Kong. You were originally described as an artist from Switzerland and France and Holland, but now Daphné is she's a Hong Kong artist. She's a local Hong Kong artist.
I think that's the ultimate
accolade.
Yes, yeah. Okay. 700萬陣總活 No, that wasn't good. Thank you. 700萬種生活。